Yo, family, what's good? Welcome back once more to another crypto live stream. Just to address the elephant in the room right now, I'm not sure those who are part of my free Discord community. If you are, you will know already, but I was unfortunately hit with some pretty sad news earlier this morning. A relative of mine has recently passed, and as a result, the next few days are going to be interesting for streaming, put it that way. I should still be streaming tomorrow, but it's going to probably be a lot earlier if I do stream. Sunday, there will definitely not be a stream because Sunday I'm going to be at the funeral. So, yeah. Always when I get back into the swing of things, something seems to get in the way, unfortunately, but that's life, is what it is. We move on. I'll keep you all informed. If you're not a part of the free Discord server, definitely check that out. Links down below in the description. You'll get all the updates in regards to what's happening, when it's happening, when I'm going live, and all that good stuff. Alongside chill chat and learn more of the community anyways, so definitely tune into that. But yes, tomorrow's stream will be announced in there, probably either going to be much earlier than usual or it's going to be cancelled, and Sunday definitely won't be a stream. But we get the doom and gloom out of the way first so we can talk about the actual market and hopefully some reassuring news for the crypto space right now. We have got quite a lot to cover in today's stream, which we're covering, again, the general fundamentals, some Kaspa updates, some interesting discussions between Son Polinsky, Igra Labs co-founder Pavel, and also Michael Sutton, and equally Ori Newman as well in regards to VProgs. And then also we'll get into what we've seen recently with Kaspa, some general weekly updates, if you will, courtesy of Cas Media. And then equally, as we can see from the market chart right now, we're going to get into Tau. What's happening, why it's happening. I made a video on it already. So if you tuned into the video, you would have heard me talk about a breakout incoming. And right now, we're looking quite good on that regard. If we surpass $500, I think a breakout is definitely on the cards. Although, again, it is indicative of Bitcoin's behavior. Right now, Bitcoin is at $109,600. If it continues, great. If it drops below 106K, we could be on track for a bit of a bearish run. Ethereum again at 3.8K. Kaspa is currently down 0.68%, which I'm not surprised by, and I'll explain why. I mentioned before I ended my stream yesterday that what we wanted to see was for Kaspa to regain this kind of 0.055 zone, this support area here, which we didn't, which therefore means that that support level for Kaspa now is down here, which we've seen. Kaspa touched it yesterday and it's touched it earlier today. If we manage to regain here, then you had a stronger possibility that the traders would have probably held that zone, but because we didn't hold it, the support zone is further down, hence why Kaspa did touch the 0.051 zone earlier, and now not doing too badly currently on the daily time frame, again down 0.66%, valued at 0.053, but we haven't got a definitive move right now for Kaspa. We will find out, of course, as time goes on. It does depend on Bitcoin right now. Of course, there's a lot of FUD, so much uncertainty, so much confusion. I think that's the biggest part. It's the uncertainty, confusion right now in the market. Of course, those who be doing research, those who are in the knows, which I think most of us here are, we believe and anticipate an extended cycle due to macro liquidity sentiment. But when you think about the general crypto sentiment, what most investors are going off, which is just FOMO and 4-year cycle, they are unaware of this, therefore they're panicking more so, which is also why you're seeing FUD at an extortionate level. And to be fair, it's fair enough. You think about altcoins, pretty much every single altcoin in the space has done terribly throughout all of 2025. We are almost 11 months, or we're almost 10 full months into 2025. We're going into November tomorrow, and we've had lackluster to no altcoins pumping whatsoever. The best altcoin, if you ignore Ethereum, would be either XRP, or you have the outliers like Hyperliquid, or some unique examples like Virtuals protocol. But otherwise, most have been disastrous. Kaspa is no different in that regard. So while we do FUD capital price action repeatedly, more so now, it's not indicative of Kaspa being bad. It's indicative of altcoins performing or underperforming significantly. In saying that, Tao's looking fantastic. We'll get to that probably first in this stream, actually, and then we'll get back and go through it full circle. So before we do though, welcome back everybody once more. Dim top brother, welcome back. Hope you're doing very, very well. As always, you are first. Yes, crypto elite as always. Kaspa will make faces. Patience is key. I completely agree. It is only a matter of time. How long is the ever long question? Welcome back, Lau, bro. You're doing very, very well, and I appreciate you for your kind words, brother. It's one of those things, right? It's life gone far too short, far too soon, but you can't dwell on it too much. You take it in for a moment and move on. How life goes, unfortunately. Welcome back, Kryptoni, bro. Hope you're doing very, very well, brother. And you too, Greta. Welcome back as well. And everyone who's tuning in as well, welcome back to the stream. So, to start off with, we can see right now, yes, Bitcoin up 1.14%, Ethereum up 1.57%. And then looking at Tau right now, Bittensor's doing absolutely insane stuff. If we see today, I think it valued up as much as 20%, almost 19.3%. It touched this upper support zone, which is something that I showed in my video that I posted. I think it was earlier this week, if I double check. 3 days ago. Yes, 3 days ago I made a video talking about this new game-changing upgrade coming to Tau and how this could incite a breakout, which right now we are seeing this. You know, we're seeing the fact that Tau had a massive announcement. If you don't know what it is, effectively, they announced in their Discord server their plans to basically introduce a new default, which basically meant that there's currently a certain mechanism, certain way that Tau runs and the whole ecosystem. And the old mechanism basically unintentionally resulted in a lot of sell pressure on the Tau token. With this new default, as they're calling it, new default coming in, it, for one, bolsters the subnet ecosystem. So basically, when you're staking your Tau, as you can do in the community, when you're staking your Tau, you aren't given Tau back exactly. You're given tokens known as alphas. But the alphas are basically just the name of the token for that particular subnet, that mini market. So you're staking your Tau, you're given the token for that subnet being known as alpha. And then normally it is auto converted into the Tau token, and then, you know, if you're always putting it into Tau, it's going to constantly keep dumping the value more and more and more as it puts more into the market. Increased supply, lack of demand, dumps. And also there are times where you could just basically stack a considerable amount of this alpha that you've been staking and then just convert it into Tau all at once. So again, a massive bulk of Tau just comes to the market, dumps. With this new upgrade, for one, it introduces auto claim still, but also has auto claim and manual claim, but basically means that the converted alpha token into the Tau happens at random for, you know, people every, you know, day or so, or every 2 days or so, which means you can't stack ridiculous amounts all the time. It also prevents MEV attacks, which is also really, really good. But it also, and that's probably the biggest part of the upgrade in my belief, but it also means that if you are staking your Tau, again, alpha tokens, if you opt out, you can keep it in the alpha. So you're not forced now to convert your alpha tokens into Tau. You can keep taking that high risk gamble and keep taking the alpha, which also then means if you have a lot of faith in the subnet and the ecosystem that's being built in the particular subnet on Tau, you could continue to gamble on that, continue staking that. If it performs well, you've made a bigger bag, so that's fantastic. But beforehand, you are forced to keep taking it out. So it's a kind of a, you know, win and lose. It's a gamble, but it's also something that bolsters the subnet, so the community in Tau, while also reducing sell pressure on the Tau token, which is a very, very big update. So that is ultimately what was announced at the beginning of this week when I made the video, pretty much. And then we would have heard, if you're part of the Tau Discord server, you would have heard earlier today that they have now put that on the testnet. It's live on the testnet right now. So the pump right now is because what they spoke about last week about implementing for next week, they said in that announcement, again, if we go back to that they were planning to get it on the DevNet, testnet later this week and deploy it to the mainnet early next week. And it's happening right now, today. It's on the testnet right now. So it means, therefore, they are on track, hopefully, to release it to the mainnet early next week. So this right now is a very significant upgrade for Tau, but also is a FOMO, in a sense. It's FOMO because, of course, those who are holding Tau, those who are seen as like, oh, great, fantastic update coming through, reduce sell pressure on Tau, whatnot, but also something they made the proposal for this upgrade back in February. So it's been an 8 odd month progress, basically, thinking about doing it. And now they've done it, which is fantastic. So Tau right now, again, is currently 15.88% at $480. And again, for me, my personal belief, not financial advice, I think Tau needs to make a clean break above 500 for us to then see a potential move for Tau. As you see, you look at the kind of zones for Tau, and you can see there seems to be one here around 507 odd. Equally, there's some, and they're going to be resistance levels going all the way up, but the next definitive level would probably be in and around here at 5, not the right one I wanted, probably here at around 588. So that is the zone that, if you take a look at what's happening right now, if you even draw a fib retracement as well, from this bottom wick to, actually, let's do it from here. I think I'd be more accurate trying to do it from here. Bottom wick to there. So you can see Tau could very well make that move to the zones up here. Equally, actually, if you draw it on a bigger time scale, probably better if you do a bigger time scale. Do it to this recent peak here. So yeah, it looks like Tau, if it was able to break above 500, in my belief, you could see Tau therefore make a move probably to around 580 to 610 would be like the first critical resistance level that I'd probably be looking at for Tau. But again, that is all off the premise that Tau does pick above 500 in the coming days with this upgrade coming through, which is not guaranteed because the market right now is still very much drowning with uncertainty and FUD. So again, Tau has done very well, honestly. Since the whole crypto crash, Tau is literally the best performing asset. Since this crypto crash that happened on October 10th, Tau has been comfortably the best performing asset in this whole space, which is good. Something that I spoke about already repeatedly to all of you here and to my VIPs as well. So this is good to see, and I'm sure, again, pullbacks in Tau are definitely possible. If we can't break above 500, probably expect a pullback. And then you can short if you so want to take that gamble again in shorting. Otherwise, then a move upwards is definitely possible based on their incoming updates. But now, with that being said, welcome back, Busy. Kevin O'Leary does cameos for 6,000 USD. We could come together and get one asking his opinion on Kaspa. So glad I bought 100 Tau in April. Right now, I'm sticking Kaspa as it will run soon. If you missed Tau, buy Kaspa. I mean, honestly, yeah. In regards to the first question about Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful himself, I mean, you can, again, the fact that Kaspa is a fair launch community project, we the community can do whatever we want and band together to do that sort of stuff. So we definitely can do that. If I'm being perfectly honest, I wouldn't personally do it because I don't care to Mr. Wonderful, if I'm being completely honest. Of course, I can't always say that because you've got to have the mentality, you've got to spend a little to get a little, you've got to actively spend to get more adoption of Kaspa to, that might also be the kind of give and take. But people want to do that, go for it. I mean, the same argument, people who wanted to get an ETF listing for Kaspa. There was a community fund, a crowdfunding in the Discord server months back, talking about getting an ETF filing for Kaspa in the United States, which, you had to raise money for that, and we didn't hit the mark, which of course, why would you? Because right now people are not really, understandably and fair enough, nobody's wanted to give out money. Who would? The market's been terrible. You want to hold on and just pray something to finally click when it does. In regards to the Tau comment, I mean, yeah, buying 100 Tau in April, was a definite good shout. As you look at where April's at right now, looking way down here, Tau's been on an absolute tear since kind of this bottom area in April. You're looking at what, give or take 2.5x or something like that. So that's a great buy, Rizzy. So shout out to you for that. Very, very good DCA price there, or entry there. And yes, if you missed Tau, you could argue then Kaspa. I mean, Kaspa in general, I think we just wholeheartedly believe in. Again, being at 5.3 cents, it's very undervalued. We'll have to hope and pray, and hopefully we'll see soon that Kaspa makes this move. It's right now just holding these critical support levels, which again, the bottom of that being about 4.8, 4.7. But right now it's trading between this 5 to 5. 5.8 zone right now, off the back of just the uncertainty. Again, what we need to see right now for the general market, I think, to prevent any further negative sentiment, is Bitcoin has to just be able to hold this particular zone for, well, the foreseeable future, basically. This zone, I think, is proven to be where Bitcoin is held after the crypto crash, and just going below that, I would probably see a lot more bears rallying up again, which is not ideal. Now, that being said, welcome back, Double D, bro. You're doing very, very well, brother. Let's get into some more content real quickly. So I'm going to first talk about addressing some from an elephant in the room. If you haven't heard, MEXC, our favorite exchange, has been caught out in a big, big way. So this individual, Hanzo, made a post about it, where he's basically spoke about the whole situation with MEXC and this particular user called the White Whale, who's a whale. He's a very, very wealthy individual. We had millions in the MEXC exchange. So if we read through it, it's significant and hopefully a turning point. So here's what happened with MEXC. Some guy named the White Whale made a tweet saying something like, "My account was suspended for trading with my hands. No bots, no API, nothing. I had $3 million or $5 million there, which I can't withdraw, and support doesn't help." So Cecilia, who is some new MEXC CSO, customer support operator, apparently tried to help. They had some dialogue, and the guy was offered to admit that he broke rules and then his funds would be released, but he didn't break any rules, so he said he's not going to do that. I'm not going to admit to something I didn't do, which is completely fair enough. And then she said, okay, we'll take a look and we'll find an answer for you. And 2 weeks later, they had no answer whatsoever. So they just completely ghosted him, basically. And apparently, then she answered saying that this conversation should have stayed private and you're mixing the facts, so on and so forth. So again, just saying you're making this bigger than it needs to be. You know, I mean, frankly, he should be, don't get me wrong, I agree it should be private, but if you're not getting anywhere, and you've got, and it's one thing you're doing, you know, a couple hundred, a couple thousand, no matter, I mean, either way, money is money. You shouldn't have to roll back and take the punches. But this guy had millions. And they are not helping him out. They're claiming he just did something he didn't do. MEXC also added on their official page, they'll be taking legal actions against TWW for misinformation. So the White Whale, they're going to take action against this individual for misinformation, apparently. But because of this, the whole of crypto Twitter, plus ZachXBT, stated or started supporting the White Whale, since many had similar problems with MEXC, which we are fully well aware of that, especially in the Kaspa community. We are fully aware of the underhandedness of MEXC and the manipulation that goes on that platform. And even some little guy tweeted to withdraw your funds from MEXC immediately. And we've seen that. We've been doing that time and time again anyways, because they are planning to freeze withdrawals, and the flywheel started spinning even faster. So it went from the White Whale saying, I've been talking to MEXC, my account got frozen for no reason, talking to the help, the customer support, and they've been doing nothing about it, trying to make me admit to something I didn't do, or just ignoring me. I complained about it publicly. I then filed a defamation lawsuit for misinformation against me. And then everyone said, no, MEXC, you're in the wrong here, because, you know, this is not news at all. Actually, this is something that's happened repeatedly. So the first time it becomes such a big issue like this. And then she apologized. We messed up. We apologized to the White Whale, and his money has already been released. He can claim it any time. I messed up in communicating with him. I got emotional, and I shouldn't have. Since I joined MEXC 2 months ago, I've been fighting behind the scenes to get MEXC to change. We grew really fast a few years ago. We were a very small exchange, but given our current scale, our risk operations and PR team, we have not kept up. Yada, yada, yada. Basically just damage control here. They've accepted now that everybody is coming at MEXC, coming at their throats. And they're like, okay, well, we can't have this. Is really bad publicity right now. We're going to just take the punches, roll over, and just go, right? You know, we're sorry, move on. It's damage control at its finest here. And it's honestly frustrating. And that's also the biggest issue with centralized exchanges. Don't get me wrong, there is a relative lack of where to buy Kaspa right now. I have myself bought Kaspa on MEXC, but when I do so, it's a very, very quick process of buying Kaspa on MEXC, immediately sending it out into either my Kaspa or Tangent wallet every time. I don't keep any capital on MEXC. I have had some and to be, full disclosure, I have had some partnerships from XE approach me, and I just haven't accepted them because I don't trust the platform. I just don't trust the platform. And I'm not just, if I had full faith in the platform, I'd probably take it. I don't trust them because I've seen them repeatedly, time and time again. So she apologized. People are still flooding Mexi and withdrawing their funds as they should. And yeah, this is a shout out more so to Mexi. If you should focus more so on fixing the actual operations and Mexi and how it runs, as opposed to trying to reach out and penalize people. Because don't get me wrong, these sort of illicit things happen. People do use underhanded tactics and bots and whatnot, and that is against terms and conditions, so fair enough. But in a situation like now, you try to fight fire on fire and you realize you just couldn't win that battle, and now they're licking their wounds, but it's ridiculous. I don't think Mexi will go bankrupt. They are a very, very big exchange. Look at them right now on CMC. They've got 408 billion 24-hour trading volume with 5.2 million weekly visits. They're top 10. Of course, that could easily change when you think about what happened to FTX, right? But yeah, massive platform. So unless we see an FTX situation, God forbid, that wouldn't happen to Mexi. But it is another screaming issue with exchanges, centralized, it's indicative of centralized or decentralized. It happens on either, to be honest, if it's set up the wrong way. But particularly with centralized entities, this happens repeatedly, time and time again. So you've got to be very, very careful. And that is something that I heard about, and I think it's ridiculous. And I hope that they fix this issue going forward. Now, to quickly cycle into some Kaspa post before I do, though, welcome back, Gosu bro, you're doing very, very well. Messi, you mean not Mexi? Yes, probably misspoke there. It's a miracle Mexi is still in business. Votes are still being counted. With any luck, they will disqualify most of the votes from the bad actors since they are not real Binance users. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mexi being in business, I understand where you're coming from, but they are such a massive platform. Like, realistically, they're not going to just go. Unless you see at FTX, they're not going to go. And the votes still being counted. I'm not surprised there's a lot of votes. I doubt they're going to disqualify the guy. Binance, they don't care enough for me. The fact of the matter being is, if this was a case where you just had to vote once, I'm like, cool. You got to vote multiple times, every day as well. This to me is more so a publicity stunt for Binance rather than actually giving a crap. So I don't think they care about this award as much as they seem to claim they do. It's just something they're doing. I don't think they'll penalize the guy at all. Somplinsky, I think he won his category. So, Somplinsky, again, Sompi is going to get an award. Michael Sutton, I think, got third. If people above him get disqualified, he gets a second or first. But I think he got third, which still means he gets an award, which is still, more publicity to Kaspa, so we can't complain about that too much. It's either case, I'm optimistic that's on Polinsky. He had a great congrats to advancing every Caspian who voted. I mean, yeah, definitely. Definitely a shout out to us, pound on back for us who did raise more awareness to Kaspa, getting it more in the public eye. Welcome back, baby daddy bro, doing very, very well. I fell asleep and woke up at the very end yesterday, recovering well from surgery, but my sleep still sucks. Sweaty British balls. Well, I'm glad to hear your surgery went well, brother. Of course, I understand you're being very exhausted. But yes, hopefully you get better very, very soon. And thank you very much for being here, brother. Honestly, it means a lot that you're spending your excruciating, I probably imagine a bit boring and maybe even a bit painful time tuning in and listening to my British voice. So thank you for being here, brother. I mean it. Now I'm making the most of DEX, even if I pay more or tangent 1 or 2%, I prefer to pay rather than deal. I mean, yeah, that is also completely fair. It's the risk to reward, right? Do you prefer to pay more of a premium for better security and safety, or take the gamble on something that's technically not as secure, not as safe, not as trustworthy, but you get it cheaper? Risk to reward, right? Kaspa Uniswap still waiting. Yeah, that was announced ages ago. I don't know what's happened to that. I imagine more so when you get closer developments towards VPROX or even Casplex. I don't know. Casplex have gone very, very quiet, I'd like to say, since the whole fiasco, if you will. Frankly, people just don't trust them right now, which I get. It's been over a month now. You still have no open source. I understand. I don't understand. I can possibly overlook not open sourcing straight away, but you got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to incentivize trust, especially in any community in general, but in particular Kaspa, because Kaspa's community is all about decentralization, open source, and trust. If you're not going to do that, not follow those guidelines, people are not going to take that gamble or take that chance with you. I've used Kaspa a little bit and it works, it's fine, but I don't want to use it because I just don't know if I trust it enough. That might change with VPOGs, might change with open sourcing, it might change in the future. But right now, I have no incentive. I have no incentive to use it. I'd prefer to wait to IGRA right now. Welcome, Rosario. Hope you're doing very, very well. Welcome back, Greg, as well. Hope you're doing very well, brother. Here on your PTO. Night shift on radio mode, as always, go to. Thank you much for being here. Can't see my face, therefore, but still hear my voice. Great to hear. And yes, definitely, if everyone is enjoying these streams, I'll be doing this stuff daily, despite the fact that I will not probably be here this weekend. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, and equally in my Discord server. Yes, I didn't at everyone. That's probably why no one saw it, but I need to do that next time. But yes, definitely hit the like button if you haven't done so already. And yes, those who are not aware, I mentioned it in my Discord server in the announcements channel that I had a relative of mine that passed. I'm going to be going to a funeral on Sunday about it. Just got told about it this morning, so I'm a little bit not mentally all there. Part of life happens, but I'm going to be busy tomorrow anyways, so we'll see if I have time to go to do a stream before I leave. If I do, it'd be like probably 7 hours earlier than usual, which I'm not sure if I have the time to do that. And then Sunday I'm going to the funeral, so I can't stream at all on Sunday. But then we'll figure that out. Again, I'll make sure I keep it all posted. But I'll still be here, you know, I'll be present in the Discord community at the very, very least. But you'll see me, the latest you'll see me again is if you don't see me Saturday and Sunday, Monday I'll be back, no doubt. No doubt about it. Norton will be on the same stage as CZ, Raul Powell, and Michael Saylor, yes, and also Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse as well. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite a, you know, the titans, if you will, of the crypto space. Brad Garlinghouse, CZ Binance, Raul Powell, and Michael Saylor, like all these people who are very well either respected or very well known in crypto are going to be at this event, and Son Polinsky is going to be getting an award there as well. So, I mean, you know, that's going to bring more eyes to Kaspa in some capacity. Not again guaranteeing any listing or pumps, but it will bring more adoption for sure. Welcome back, LB, bro. You're checking in. You're doing very, very well, brother. And thank you very much, Kappa Fork, as well. Sorry to hear about that. My condolences go to you and your family. Don't worry about the stream on the weekend. Just take care of yourself first. I appreciate you very, very much. Sunday, again, definitely won't be a stream. Definitely won't be a stream. Saturday, I'm tossing it up right now. I enjoy doing this stuff. It also takes my mind off it. I sometimes use it as therapy if I'm honest, talking to you all. But we'll see. We'll see. Also on a random tangent point as well right now, as much as it's, you know, you can see me now, it's been day 3, all well and good. I do have this subconscious and also conscious acknowledgement that my setup's not very professional. You know, mic here in front of my face, all well and good. Camera looks decent, I get that. But bed in the background, can't let that run. Can't let that run. So I will be, you'll probably be on this journey with me, therefore, seeing me slowly but surely. Because again, I said, this is my guest room. Like I'm living in my house, my bedroom's next door. It's just my guest room / office. But I haven't bothered moving the bed because I had guests over not that long ago. But I'm like, you know what? Let me just actually make this into a studio office now. So I'm going to be on this journey with you all. You'll see me probably every other stream or whatnot moving this bed. And, you know, might see this setup switch to being on that wall. And then you'll see, you know, it'll take some time, I'm sure. You might just see a very random rogue setup for the time being. Maybe you just see me put a backdrop for the time being until I get it all properly renovated. But it's something I want to do because I know, and I agree with you, Kappa Frog, setup doesn't matter, your content speaks more volume by itself. I agree, content matters a lot more than just the setup, but that's for those who already know me, right? My content, I think I appreciate the work that I do and I think it's good, but it also, from a perspective, you want to also look the part. I just want to look the part, right? I want to feel like I am the part, doing the part. So it's not something I'm not taking a massive priority right now because there are more important things like the content, but I will be doing some renovating over the coming, you know, weeks, months and whatnot. But you're on this journey with me, so that's something to also, I guess, enjoy. Binance set up to showcase Son Polinsky. Oh yeah, Son Polinsky and Satoshi Nakamoto do the same thing. Condolences, my guy. Thank you very much, baby daddy. I appreciate you. And yeah, I know it doesn't matter, but I still, something I just feel like I want to do. Welcome, Saul. You're doing very, very well. Kaspa is king, no doubt. Don't worry about your setup. Your content is worth it, and trust you over any YouTuber with those fake panels and YouTube awards there. I mean, I don't even have enough to get a YouTube award. I'm only at 4K, which I'm appreciative. Every single subscriber I've got, I'm appreciative for all of it. I don't need the award. But I appreciate that. Again, that was part of the plan. When I was first doing this channel, I was like, you know what? I want to first, if I do Facecam in the future, I don't know. I'm doing it now. I'm happy I'm doing it. I'm enjoying it, actually. But I wanted to first do no Facecam, so that way I can get a community of people who actually trust me for me, my voice, and my content. So then when I did get Facecam, that shouldn't affect the perspective of anybody at all. It would maybe slightly affect those who are new coming in. That's why I also want to take the initiative to at least have a relatively professional looking background. So I will be doing it again over time. But I understand content speaks more volume than just backgrounds, but it's something, again, worst case scenario, again, I get a backdrop for the time being, or just do that and you can't see my face. But again, we'll see how that goes as time goes on. Right now, it's you'll probably see by next week the bed city's gone, and then you just see kind of a barren background, maybe a few paintings or whatever up. That'd be it. But then you'll see it actually be renovated properly as time goes on. But it's, just a food for thought, something that I want to do because I think it'd be quite cool. People started it the same way, bro. Bedroom to $1 million studio is a journey, exactly. And you're all gonna be the same way with Kaspa. It's a journey. We're all in this journey together, right? Thank you very much, Soul. I'd be here still if you streamed from under the bridge or in the basement of Mr. Miles. I'm sure you would be. Thank you very much, Kappa Frog. Let's hope for a good end of the year for Kaspa. We want to see the price rise to 10 cents or 15 cents. That would be ideal, most definitely. It would be ideal if we saw Kappa do make that push up there. Again, right now, I'm not convinced this cycle is going to end BQ4. I think it's more than likely going to probably continue into 2026 based on the sentiment that I'm going to talk about in a moment. But it's very, very possible is how I'm standing in it right now. I think it's very, very possible. And if that's the case, then, 10, 15 cents Kaspa would be quite a good spot to be in, because it means that 26, you probably see continual momentum going up as well. The key thing we want to see is this. We want to see Kaspa push above this. I mean, this one importantly as well, but the 12 cents, that's what you want to see Kaspa break above, because that's the last top for Kaspa. So you need to blow past the last top, and then that's kind of a signal for the reverse coming through. So that's what we want to see first and foremost. Is that your bags first? Next bull run, you'll have your own penthouse. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, if I'm hopeful by next run, I won't be in the United Kingdom. But if I'm not out of this country by the next run, I've done something wrong. I've been so for real. I'm not going to be in the UK by next run. I'll be maybe in the US. Although I'm setting my sights more so on somewhere in Asia, just because of cost of living, or even somewhere in South America. That's also not a bad shout. I don't know. I haven't given it too much thought. I just know I don't want to be here, Tau running, breakout soon. Yeah, and again, I made a video on that actually 3 or 4 days back. Not saying I predicted this, because that's not the premise of me what I'm trying to highlight, but I did cover the key insights and updates for Tau in this video 3 days back. I even made a post in it on my Twitter about what's happening, why it's breaking out, retweeting the post here as well, and how we're at a tipping point with Tau and AI being such a big thing. I did cover other documentation in there as well. So it's stuff that I had done my research, and I came to the conclusion that Tau was, with this update coming through on the cusp of a move upwards, and we're seeing it right now. Again, Tau coming up 15.7%, looking great. If we can break above $500, we'll probably see Tau running further upwards as well. That's what I'm hoping for. We'll have to wait and see though. US will tax your bum off. Southeast Asia would be a lot better. Okay, I'll take that. I mean, I'm fairly sure. I mean, the best place to be in regards to taxing is Dubai, because there's zero tax there. But I also know Dubai is quite expensive, so we'll see. I know that I think Crypto Archie lives in Dubai now. I'm not sure where he used to live, but I know he lives there now, which means he gets the benefit of zero tax. It means smart people who are the richest go to Dubai for a reason. They avoid tax. Hashtag this means war. Damn straight. Philippines chain. Philippines is not a bad shout as well. I mean, I've only visited Japan, and Japan was beautiful. Beautiful. I love Japan. I want to try and visit China, like not Hong Kong, like mainland. I want to visit there, just to see what it's like, because I have seen certain clips from there. I think it's very, very cool. I want to visit South Korea, and I want to visit, Thailand. I want to just do. I would honestly, if I had the possibility, like bull run over bear cycle. Let's just say 2 month bear cycle, and I start doing a backpack through Asia, and I'm still doing like daily live streams on the go with you lot. That'd be really, really cool. That's something I feel like I could do. This is a pre-halving Tau rip. Yeah. I mean, again, I think Tau is showing a bit of strength right now, which is great to see. One of the few in the space right now, which is, long overdue. Long overdue. But now, let's get into some more of the content right now. So, we're going to start off talking about the market, actually, before we get some more Kaspa news. So, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the United States and China plan to sign a trade deal over the coming week, which means next week, which would be very, very big. And coinciding that with Tau, that could be huge. Tau, new upgrade next week, plus US-China trade deal would be absolutely game-changing. Now, will that guarantee a crypto breakout? I think the saga's proven that there's nothing guaranteed anymore, because we had very reassuring information and data yesterday, with Trump and China apparently coming to a conclusion and trade deal of sorts, or agreement, and Scott Bessent giving rate cuts and confirming QT ending in December. Yet we still saw a massive correction in the markets, which is because the Fed and Jerome Powell said there's no guarantee of rate cuts in December. That's what caused that. So that sentiment is still very much lingering. People right now are uncertain, and the government shutdown doesn't help that either. The shutdown's also a big, big reason why there's so much uncertainty, because the Fed can't make decisions without data. The data's not coming out because the government shutdown. But we'll have to see how it goes from here. This would be reassuring and probably give a bit of relief to the market. And then we'll see how November performs. Hopefully November performs better and then October. But something also important to note, which I'm sure that some of us would also come to an agreement with, US banks reserves fall to $2.8 trillion, lowest level since 2020, which is insane. And then it begs the question again. We know Jerome Powell's ending QT on December 1st. But if the reserve repo continues to dwindle and get lower and lower and lower, it gets to the point where stopping taking money out and just leaving it there, it may not be enough, because you've got such a lack of liquidity in it anyway. And because the government shut down, there's no TGE, the Treasury, no TGE coming in either. So you have no liquidity coming in, which is going to cause further stagflation. So you've got rate cuts coming through, ever so be it slowly and still uncertain in some regard. You've got QT ending. But does that mean therefore, like, I saw it from Cody, one of my mods in my free Discord server, or my community. He talked about how there's never been a case where QT ends and QE doesn't start almost immediately. Now we haven't. I can't say for sure if that's the case or not. I do think that QT is going to be ending. Will it start QE quickly or not? I don't know for sure, but it's definitely possible. Considering that we've got such a dire situation right now, where even US banks are sitting on $395 billion in unrealized losses as of Q2 2025. That's not good. So we're seeing such a lack of money in the US economy right now. Rate cuts ain't cutting it. You've got to start injecting capital at some point. So there's a possibility we could end up seeing QE sooner than we expect. Food for thought's not guaranteed. We'll have to wait and see. Reassuring news though in regards to crypto developments though. We spoke about this yesterday as well. Looks like we're getting some developments and progression now with the Clarity Act again, which is fantastic. And remember, banks, financial leaders across the board, they've all been desperate for the passing of the Market Structure Bill Clarity Act. So this would be a very big deal if this passed again before Thanksgiving, which we're hoping, again, this is progressing in the government shutdown. Normally wouldn't happen, but they're so desperate to get this Market Clarity Bill out. They're doing it during the government shutdown. That's a very big indicator for how desperate they are to get this policy into law. So that's a really big deal. I think they're going on to the next stage from what we can see right now, which is reassuring news. And that would also, again, potentially lead to a bit more relief and hopefully good momentum going into the latter half of Q4 2025. I missed your last message, did I? I don't see it on my screen. The last one I have from you is "This means war." I have nothing before that, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't see it. Welcome. I spend a few hours each day figuring out when alt season should start. I believe to late December will be huge. Then we move sideways until power leaves office. One more big rip for some time. So if I'm getting this straight, therefore you believe... I should probably look at altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin. Let's just look at Ethereum then, because it's the biggest altcoin. So therefore you believe we'll start gaining momentum here. Let's draw a bit more accurately. Probably around here then. Ripping a bit here. And then we'll kind of plateau a bit, not making much movement until Jerome Powell's office here. And you think go on a big rip from there. That's kind of what you're predicting. I mean, interesting theory. Not a great drawing of a chart. I acknowledge that. It's possible. Right now, from what, the documentation that we've looked at, the sources we looked at, it seems to be that we're no longer in this kind of 4-year cycle sentiment anymore. Macro liquidity is taking over. So if that is the case, then cycle extending past 2025, 2026, and then making a rally, then, holding until we get more reassuring and positive macro liquidity data, then yes, you could end up seeing plateauing, new chair taking over that will just start putting a lot of capital in the market, hopefully, if he's aligning with Trump. Markets explode and then go to a big bear cycle. Which would be great because it gives Kaspa more time to release their, hopefully, blockbuster developments like VPOGs. So actually, let's get to Kaspa quickly. Let's get some Kaspa content real quickly. So, Escape Squad. Just updated here about how we now have currently 545 public nodes live with Kaspa. Of course, there is a goal to get to 1,000 public nodes before November 7th, which is Kaspa's 4th birthday. I mean... that would be an incredible achievement considering that, we are very, very far off. Of course, I'm also part to blame for that because I've not set up my own public node. But I do plan to do it at one point. But, again, we are seeing it grow more and more. You can see where it's based all around the world. A lot in Europe, quite a few in the United States, and then dotted everywhere else. Some in South America, in Africa, Australia, New Zealand, and then parts in Asia as well. Which is, again, Kaspa is going global. You've got one in Russia, which is quite interesting. And some in China as well. Now, I wanted to get to this real interesting segment here as well, which is covering a discussion from Tom Polinsky and some other of the kind of friends and devs, if you will, where basically Tom Polinsky is having a discussion here when he spoke to Crypto Aspect and Michael Sutton, and Pavel also chimed here as well, and so did Ori Newman. But basically, this conversation here is talking about the virtual machines, the VPOGs, the ZKVMs, and the long and short of it, because I don't want to, read word for word, because it's a lot of somewhat technical talk that would probably go over my head. When I put this into, Gemini on full disclosure, and said explain to me like I'm 10. So the way they kind of just broke it down was, Tom Polinsky, we know he views layer 2s as parasitic. He does not like layer 2s at all. And therefore the goals of VPOGs, what they're trying to create, is a way that lets programs be more sovereign. And it would basically, and again, the whole premise is basically trying to find a way to keep all of the power on the layer 1. Because when layer 2s come on board with layer 1, they start stealing the liquidity. What happened to Ethereum? That's what happened to Solana. Every chain. The layer 2 steal from the layer 1. It's just how it goes. So what Kaspa is trying to do is find out a way where they can secure the layer 1, make sure that everything continues to go through the layer 1, and layer 2s therefore can't get greedy and start taking over, which is how they perceive ZKVMs and VPOGs would help in doing that. But Microsoft does make a fair point here, which is talking about how, can they design this in a way where it's to allow these layer 2s to make money? Because while you want to keep all of it in layer 1, if it is so restrictive, then it could potentially disincentivize layer 2 from coming on Kaspa, because there's no way you can make money because it's all going to go through the layer 1. That's the point he's trying to make. So it's trying to find that fine balance between, again, this is proof of how early we are in regards to VPOGs and smart contracts and Kaspa still. We're still in the open discussion phase. Still trying to talk about it, yellow papers and whatnot. They're trying to find out a way to release some infrastructure and protocols that would allow the layer 1 to be the main road, and therefore the main hub of everything. Layer 2s can't steal it, but also not reduce the necessity for layer 2s or abilities and benefits of layer 2s and what we provide, which is liquidity and an ecosystem. Which I think is very interesting. All Newman says here, I think your statement is too decisive. It's true that some directions might harm some layer 2 projects, like implementing native smart contracts. Native support for smart contract would effectively kill IGRA labs, but they would be able to profit from other directions, which they'll have incentives to promote. IGRA labs proposing to implement KYC 15, and also in the end of the day, it's not a zero-sum game, and they would also profit from layer 1 increasing adoption. So it's just early talk. Something I thought was quite interesting to see how the bigger minds of Kaspa are coming together, talking about how we're going to go about this, what's important, can we stop these layer 2s that are going to come into Kaspa becoming, parasites and leeching off everything and just taking it all. And if we were to basically completely push out and kind of solve them, but almost isolate layer 2s, would they still make money that way? Which Oyunum was like, you probably still can from layer 1 adoption. So it's an interesting perspective I thought was worth covering. Let me just quickly see if I missed some questions real quickly. I have missed some. December QT ends plus word of mouth family pumps. It usually happens when relatives talk about each other investing. I mean, yeah, again, we still got a lot more time. So I think you'll see December pump with QT ending. But I don't think it's going to be enough to necessarily send everything to the moon, because QE is what you need. We need liquidity right now. We haven't got enough liquidity, really. We've got like 7 trillion on the sidelines, but that's all like in money market funds, not, retail. Trump is going to cut rates lower once Powell's out. We need to refinance our debt. There's another major injection of liquidity. I'm thinking Q4 2026, early Q1 2027. That would be definitely the best case scenario, but I don't know if this cycle goes on for that long. I'm not saying it can't happen, but this is all like hypothetical, right, or theoretical. We're in a completely new scenario. We don't know what's happening. Saying the cycle going to extend still feels like a bit of a crazy thing to say, despite what information said. But the fact of the matter being that the cycle can extend for another full year, if not a little bit longer, that seems not ridiculous. I want to say, because I don't want to say you're wrong at all, baby daddy. I think, again, you've got a point to be made there. It's really hard to give any form of definitive answer. That's what it is, really. Now, if we're going to quickly move on, we've got some other posts here from Kaspa Media. It's kind of giving a weekly update for Kaspa that I thought was quite interesting as well. Despite the price action, Kaspa still seems to be doing quite a lot. So you can see here, it's kind of, again, very, very long post. I'm not going to go into all of it, but it's just giving some updates recently for Kaspa, what's been happening, which, you got, Kaspa Silver's perspective on the Kaspa Layer 2 smart contracts, which is similar to mine, which is just don't really that trustworthy, so I'm not so sure about them. Kaspa being listed on Bybit EU, a USDC trading pair. The votes that is just concluded right now, they're still counting it up. 4th birthday coming through. Begin Blockchain, who is the parent company to Ice River Mining, now public on NASDAQ, which could be big for Kaspa going forward as well. One of the biggest Kaspa ASIC mining equipment manufacturers. Flux nodes and natural NFT giveaway. The cat bridge went live. Trump pardoned CZ, which is quite a big deal as well. Trump nominated Michael Selig for the newest CFTC chair, which I think is very big, considering he's got a lot of involvement in the CFTC, in the crypto task force, and also Paul Atkins as well. He's the senior advisor for him. And then we also have this, which I think is particularly very interesting. This is to summarize this here. This is talking about the MENA region and talking basically about the fact that in the MENA region, which is Middle East and North Africa, we're seeing a rapid emerging. It's rapidly emerging as a perceived global hub for crypto and Web3. And because of this, due to the frameworks and legislations and whatnot, and mass crypto adoption, you've got key nations like Bahrain as well also make significant moves. And it comes down to the fact that ultimately in this process, talking about how the KRI are basically planning to tap in and collaborate with regulators in the MENA region to utilize Kaspa. So it looks like KRI are making some good progress in the MENA region at the very least for Kaspa, which is big. We know that KRI are going to be holding their leadership summit next week, actually, November 7th, where on day 2, we will see Rory O'Neill talk about the Kaspa block DAO technology, solving the blockchain dilemma. So KRI, again, are making more strides, more moves from the looks of things, which is good to see. Again, slowly but surely getting capital adoption out there. And we also know that they are making attempts to break further into the EU, which I made this post yesterday, which they replied saying that's why we're focusing on warp core and ISO readiness on Kaspa, so then they can stand head and shoulders above everything else in the EU. The EU are now progressing in the final progress report. They're now ready basically for the digital euro and for crypto, which is a very big deal. And I mentioned this already prior, and how Kaspa basically tapping into that. And you've got other entities like LCX also trying to help Kaspa break into this European market, which would be huge. And that is actually that was the last source for this stream today. If I'm being completely honest, I thought I had one more post there, but that was actually completely it for today. That was pretty anticlimactic, if you ask me. But yeah, if you've got any more questions real quickly, I think Bitcoin top was in slowly a distribution phase, but yeah, it's looking bullish. I mean, maybe, although let me quickly look at one of my indicators, because one indicator that I use quite a lot. I haven't pulled it up recently because I haven't felt the need to, but there was one indicator I use quite a lot. And this indicator is, I mean, again, we're in a different scenario, different market right now, so it may not have as much effectiveness. Where is it? Here it is. This is the CBBI, which is Colin Tor's Crypto Bitcoin Bull Run Index, basically analyzing the 9 key metrics and whatnot. It's at 71. Typically, if you look in history, every time you see the CBBI getting to, sub a plus 90, especially when it gets to above like 95, that's when it tops in. You saw it in the last cycle, it got to 95, 97. That was the first. Of course, we had a double top then, but still you had a top in there. Right now, we've seen 80. The confidence went as high as 80. We haven't seen it get to 90 yet. Granted, it's a new market, different scenario, and it's been very much at this stage for a long, long time. You haven't seen any green at all. It's been constant orange. That even in these last cycles, you saw some, green, some, despite. This has been a very, very, very long cycle. Very long cycle. But I don't think that we are at this definitive stage just yet. I think we've still got a bit more time ahead of us, personally. But Tower's looking bullish, I'll give you that much, definitely. Tower again up 15%. Swamp will get on stage and say, I'm Satoshi. If he does, then that would definitely cause some uproars. I don't think he will, though. Are we rich yet? I'm going to hibernate to the next bear market. I mean, maybe worthwhile next level, although, again, if you've seen anything in this space, like we're seeing with Tower right now, price can change very, very quickly at a moment's notice. So, I mean, once the bear cycle's definitely in, that's when I might take a bit of a step back. But I mean, even then, like, there's so much money to make. Even in the bear market, you make so much money in this space. It's ridiculous how much money you can make. So I'm not so sure if I would definitely do so, because I could end up do other stuff there. But yeah, it's been a tough cycle, to put it that way. But that being said, family, that does now conclude today's Kaspa Crypto live stream. Did Somp and Sutton win? The votes are being counted right now, so we haven't got confirmation, but I think Son Polinsky won. Vogelsson, I think, came third, unless they disqualify the first person for reasons. But they still both get awards, I think. But yeah, that does conclude Kaspa Crypto live stream today, family. Hopefully you enjoyed today's stream. If you want to find out more information, then by all means check out the free Discord server, the affiliate links down below to BYDFI, Twitter as well. Follow me on Twitter. If not, you can also learn a lot more in the VIP 7-day free trials and also 1-month free trials for BYDFI. A lot more we provide in there as well, which I talk about frequently. I haven't spoken about much this stream, but if you want to find out more information, leverage and utilize the free trials here, and you can get people behind the curtains on what's going on in this space, what's coming through, and ultimately how we are preparing for this, what we believe to be incoming rally. But yeah, again, all is down below in the description, so go check that out if you want to. Bitcoin is not at the top. We have so many more bullish forward-looking catalysts, government reopening, China deal QE starting, rate cuts being lowered, new Fed. I mean, I'm not sure how prevalent all of them will be in a continual cycle momentum, but I mean, some of those, like again, China deal definitely, government reopening could be possible. When we hope it's possible, but again, we have no definitive idea when it's going to happen just yet. QE starting will be huge as well. If it happens in due time, we'll have to wait and see. That we have got a lot of forward catalysts. I agree with that much, but we need the government shutdown to end to see more forward catalysts. Welcome back. Yo, Jay, I forgot it was my birthday. On the 20th, I was here. Can you happy birthday to me, like Marilyn Monroe? No. I don't know how to sing it like that. That's I wish I was that talented. I'm not. But happy birthday, or happy belated. Hope you had a great day. And on the 20th, what happened for Kaspa? Was it a bad day? Actually, it was a decent day for Kaspa on the 20th. You saw a 4% rise. Oh, you can't even see my screen. There. Decent day for Kaspa on that day. But yeah. Hope you had a good day, brother. And maybe you'll get me to sing next time. Maybe next time. Welcome back, Don, bro. You're doing very, very well, although you are tuning into the tail end of the stream today. That'll be it for today's Kaspa Crypto Live. That'll be it for today's Kaspa Crypto Live family. If you enjoyed, again, leave a like down below. Share with your friends, subscribe for more. Turn on the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. And yeah, I'll keep you all informed about this weekend. I'm not sure if I'll be going live or not. I'll keep you all posted in the Discord server. Tune into the Discord server so you know if I'm going live or not. That being said, family, have a great day, good evening, and good night. And I'll see you all